Welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon. Of course, you know exactly where I am. It is Tuesday. It is a little after 1. I'm at the Peppermill, and of course, I'm in the Elvis Presley booth, but I have an icon with me. I have an incredible guy with me. I know a lot of you know him in Vegas. I know him a little bit here and a little bit there, and he's always been very intriguing to me. And I just said to him before he came on set, I said, my mother would love you because he's very, very different in life, in looks, in everything. How about the Duke of Fremont? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
How on earth did you get that name?
Well, it actually came by accident. I was at one of the old strip clubs that is no longer with us, and I was.
What were you doing in the strip club?
I was monitoring. I was making sure all the guys stayed in order. You know, we didn't want anybody getting out.
Oh, okay. Right.
And I was dubbed the Duke of Fremont Street, and the name sticks.
It sticks with you because I remember when I first met you. I met you at the Heartland Mansion.
Yes.
And you were walking up, and I thought, who on earth is this? Because he has the spats on. Why don't you show your spats? You see that he's got spats on.
Yeah, I put my spat up.
And I was actually, because you intrigued me so much, I was reading a little bit about you. You've had a very, very intriguing life. He actually is a gambler, and poker is his game.
Yes, but not a very good poker player, but I do play poker.
You're not a very good poker player?
No,
what happened?
I'm you know, in the game of life, I beat the hell out of it. In the game of poker, I'm mediocre, but I hold my own with my persona. That's my edge. Okay. So I actually stopped believing in the game about 1990, but it's kind of like the guys that still fight in a war that they're losing.
I love poker. I love it.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's a microcosm of the universe, that poker game.
And all over the world.
Yes, I played all over the world.
You can go anywhere and gamble to be got you.
Well, the beautiful thing about Vegas is the world comes to you.
Yes,
so when I was in an earlier time in my life, I went to the world, 6 continents. But now that I live in Vegas...
You're from Missouri, right?
I'm from southeast Missouri, right on the Mississippi River, Cape Girardeau.
So you had... Did they have the gambling boats then?
Yes, I was... Well, not when I was born, but that was back during the Civil War.
In other words, you started the gambling?
Yes, yeah. Actually, before it was legal... I'm going to hang myself here.
He played in a back room.
Yes, we did.
He played down in the cellar.
Yes, we did.
That's where everybody played.
We actually did. We played up on the ridge and here and there and everywhere. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a game that was full of very colorful characters. Some of them were, was somewhat menacing, but we always managed to survive the games.
Isn't it funny how sort of gambling and all this type of life all sort of gets together with the people that are they're really not in the entertainment business, though a lot of them are,
yes.
But at the same time they love this colorful sort of life, this sort of, it's like I say, living in Vegas, you don't always have to be at the casinos all the time, it's just to know they're there.
Precisely. Precisely.
So you've got that opportunity to go.
24/7 action. I love the spirit of the town. This is not heaven on earth, but it's not bad. I mean, I
think it's heaven on earth. I think it's amazing. Especially with the latter part of my life, I would never, ever expected me to be in Vegas. But as it so happens, I'm quite liking it.
And Ninon, Vegas is not for everybody, as you know.
Oh, no,
it's a very transient town. Some people come and they have these expectations,
and they fail.
And they're shattered, and their delusions go away, and then they go away.
And that's sad.
So it is sad because it's like a kaleidoscope of people coming through.
I never thought of that, but that's absolutely
it is what it is. But prior to Vegas, I had a life. I was a Mississippi riverboat gambler, and that was very colorful, and I enjoyed it. I miss Dixieland, and I lived on the Gulf Coast and lived near New Orleans and Memphis and St. Louis. And
then you spent a lot of your time in Europe, too.
Not a lot in Europe, but I did go to Europe when I was a young man, and from then branched out and went into Africa and South America, Central America, Asia.
And he said he hasn't traveled much. He just covered the world.
Lately. Well, 6 continents. I actually circumvented the globe in 2012 went around the entire planet.
And then we're talking, you slipped out there gold. You're very much into gold and silver and coins and all sorts of... And then you also had a miniature thing you were doing. You were making miniatures?
Well, yes.
It's the most intriguing life I've ever seen with someone, because there's so many different things you've done and still do.
Thank you, Ninon. I've had people that have met me and they think that I'm that character in the old Saturday Night Live bit, The Liar. You know, because, well, I did this, I did that, I did that.
But you actually did.
I actually did, yeah. I own my own company that was named after me, and I had the privilege of vending my products in the Smithsonian and many of the Pentagon on the 5th floor. I was very friendly with a lot of the military at that time, the Ronald Reagan administration.
Really?
And they gave the presidents my sculptures. So I even have an old Life magazine that shows my fingers on the mantle of the White House.
Oh, see, I didn't know all this stuff. See, I never know half what anybody does on my show.
Well, I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that.
You should be proud of it. It's funny because I have 110 awards for a show I did, and also I still seem to get awards. And I have them all in my office, and everybody says, why do you have them hanging in your office? And I said, well, why wouldn't I? I wasn't going to hide them. I mean, I earned them, I got them, I did them, and why wouldn't you be proud of that?
Well, I have a list of my accomplishments on the wall also. It's the size of a postage stamp.
I bet
but I mean, it's
no,
real.
I don't believe that for 1 minute. You just lied.
I am a liar. That's true. I admit it.
So anyway, so you did all these miniatures. Now, when you say miniatures, are they small or are they...
They were 54 millimeter scale, which is 9 millimeters to the foot, which means a 6-foot man would be 54 millimeters tall. Okay. The English were the great proponents of the toy soldiers. William Britton, the Britons.
Yes,
you remember the Britons?
Yes, the Britons.
As a child, I got these at 3 years old, and they never dreamed that by giving me this set of Britain's soldiers, that it would offense. Yeah, my whole life was surrounded by that. And I thought I'd never end that. You know, I was there for almost 30 years doing that. But it's a very demanding life. And
but you enjoyed it.
I loved it.
Creating something that you wanted to.
But now I just don't have. But Nina and I don't have it in me anymore. It's it's very delicate work. So
what do you have in you now? Because now you're now he's into gold and silver, which is lovely. And also I had 2 English £5 notes, and I've lost them. I don't know where they are. I was going to bring them to you to see, if they're worth anything.
Well, I'm sure
they're worth something.
Yes.
Even if it's just £5. So you're into gold and silver and currency. Is that correct?
Yes, numismatic coins, old American money.
Yeah.
Bullion, which makes the world go round.
Yes.
And I've been in that also my entire life. I've always collected. You're born a collector, you're not made a collector. So I always enjoyed that, and now I'm turning up the heat on that part. I have a lot of different...
turning up the heat.
Well, I'm doing more and more of that.
Careful guys out there. He's turning his heat on.
Well,
as if it isn't already on.
Well, I spend a lot of time seeking out rare items. And I collect a lot of them.
See, he found me.
That's true. You are one of a kind. You're a gem, and you're priceless. You're absolutely priceless.
I love that.
I can't put a price on you.
Oh, how lovely. I like that. I might keep you around.
And I'm genuine. Cool. I'm genuine. I'm telling you that.
I believe that. I truly believe that. Well, I come from my family were antique dealers, so I'm a little bit into the collecting things, a lot of the old stuff, and I'm not really into modern stuff. I'm into them. So you must have been absolutely highly delighted when gold suddenly it went up very fast.
It really doesn't make me any difference. It can go up or down. I'm going to be fine either way.
Either way. So you put yourself in
kind of like a bookie, right? You know what I mean?
Well, we know all our bookies in England.
Of course, and here in Vegas.
Yeah, in Vegas you have the bookies, but in England we have bookies with that. They have this tote bag and all their bets in there, of course, all their money, and they actually have a little stool they stand up on and they yell about at the races. Come and book with me. I don't know what they say, but anyway, they get people to make their bets with them, and that's how they make their money, the bookies.
Ingenious.
It is. So what's your next plan?
Well, I'm currently in the process of working on a graphic novel about the mythical Duke of Fremont Street and his mission, which is to preserve what precious little is left of culture, heritage, history.
In Vegas.
Yes, in the world for that matter.
Wow.
Because especially in Vegas, we live in a society of or a town.
Getting rid of things.
Yeah, we implode, we destroy, we take things out in the desert and bury them. And
the old Stardust Hotel.
It's all blown up.
The stuff in there.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
And my mission is to turn the hands of time back and to preserve what precious of was left. I'm a member of several museums here that all have that same mission in mind. And
so they're all helping you.
yeah, well, we're all
you're helping
working
them
together.
more, yes.
But it's swimming upstream. It truly is.
So he feels like a salmon in Scotland.
Somewhat, yeah.
Because they swim up.
Well, also with fashion and everything else, I believe the height of our fashion in the United States was pre-war, pre-World War II, late 30s. I mean,
see, when we talk about America, America really doesn't have that much old stuff when you compare it to England.
No,
England,
absolutely
I mean,
not.
we go back and we go back and we have, and it's like I see a lot of these statues being torn down, and I'm looking at that thing. How could you possibly tear a statue down? Because it's not of any religion. It's not of anything.
Right.
It's just of something that somebody did at that part of the times. And
well, that really
doing that,
it irritates me to no end.
yeah.
Because I'm not active, but I'm a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Both sides of my family fought for the Confederate States of America. And in my opinion, it's heritage, not hate.
Well,
So
that's what
the
we call
statues,
it,
my
yeah.
first son was named after Robert E. Lee. My second son was named after me.
Actually, I was going to ask you, have you been married or are you married or any indifference? Well, oh dear, I think I've asked a tricky question.
No, I've enjoyed life in general, and
Well, we're talking about marriage,
yes,
life in general.
I've been married 3 times,
Oh, 3 times.
and I've been quoted to say that most of the monumental decisions I've made in life had something to do with cleavage. That all the women have a similarity that, for some reason, gets me. That's my kryptonite. Let's just put it that way.
And how many children do you have?
I have 2 sons, and they're both grown, and they're both quite successful and
Oh, good. Do
quite
they live
heavy.
here in Vegas? Or?
No, one of them is active U.S. military,
Oh, how
getting
wonderful.
ready to be deployed again, and I can't mention where he's going. And then my older son is a horticulturist, and he's a botanist and that sort of thing. He works with plants and
Oh, how lovely.
that sort of thing.
So are we going to live or are we going to die or what, are we all going to get blown up? What's going on? Because the way the news goes around,
Well,
it's 2 days to live.
You know, if you go back to Geoffrey Chaucer or anyone, the times that they lived in were also considered the final days. I mean, we've always had
had
these
final
crises.
days. Yes, but we're still
And
around.
the difference, the way I look at it today, rather than yesterday, I believe that I'm not invincible. At one time, I thought I really was. But I see that there is going to be end someday. So let's make the most of every moment we have here on the planet.
I couldn't do, I think to live in the moment and to, like right now, having a wonderful time with you and you're just, isn't he amazing? Absolutely wonderful. It's been great interviewing you. You have a very interesting life, and now we're going to wait for your biography or your book, or the Duke of Fremont is going to be coming out. I don't know when, but I think it should be more as a film as well.
I love the way you think.
Make the book. Well, you have to write the book first,
Yes.
right? Am I right, producers out there? Everybody out there, write the book first, and then you do the film.
I like it.
So you better put that in writing, go to your lawyer and say, I want the book and the film. That's my film. No one's stealing it from me. I think it would be fascinating.
The adventure continues.
Why, yes. You're still alive. I mean, I'm so
Well, the remnants of me. You know, I'm Humpty Dumpty, basically.
And I always call, I said, I'm Humpty Dumpty, and I like 4, but I always seem to get myself together and back up on the wall again
Yes,
and
of
keep
course.
going, and that's absolutely wonderful. We shall be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon. He's been an amazing guest, the Duke of Fremont.